What is up, guys? Darklite Reactions here, coming back at you with another one today. Welcome in, guys. If this is your first time on the channel, then what is up? I'm Darklite. I make a variety of music reactions and gaming videos on this channel. I don't really like to get into drama type of stuff. I'm not really a commentary style channel either. But I wanted to check this out today because this is a person that everybody knows. I wouldn't be surprised if every content creator on YouTube knows who this person is. This guy's a menace, in my opinion. He's caused a lot of problems with other YouTubers. He's copyright striked people for, calling him out for his BS. And, More Pegasus, who I'm subscribed to, is an awesome content creator who just released a video where apparently Hasan was detained by the U.S. officials or customs. So we're going to watch this video. It's probably going to be about a 30 to 35 minute reaction video. I will link More Pegasus' original video down below, as well as his channel. And More Pegasus, if you see this and for some reason have any issue with this video being up, I will gladly take it down. I don't want no issues. I'm a small content creator myself. So, and just so to let you know, I don't promote any harassment, any hate. Do not go and bother this man. Everybody has a right to their opinion, and whether you like the guy or not, like I said, I don't promote hate or harassment. So Hasan, you have no reason to come at me because I'm a small channel and I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on another creator's video about you. So keep that in mind. I don't want no trolls, no drama. I normally don't do these style of videos, but we're gonna check this out. So stick around and yeah, let's see what happened, because this is crazy. I've already seen, perfect example. Let me shrink down here. Perfect. See, if I shrink down and go down, Tectone, another creator I follow, also reacted to this situation. So it's been going around the internet. I've seen news articles about it as well, and even on my homepage. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this play out. We're gonna see what Pegasus has to say about the situation. All right, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, let's get into this video.
U.S. government. He is actually terrified now of being arrested and put in prison. And he seems to think that it's because of our slop drama videos on YouTube calling him out. And he seems to think that slop tubers are somehow in cahoots with the U.S. government. Now, if you didn't know, I live in Southeast Asia and I'm not American either. So yeah, that argument just doesn't work. But I'm happy to take credit for the arrest of Hasan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have wonderful news today. It seems like the mainstream is catching on to the fact that Hasan openly supports terrorists and plays their propaganda on stream. And that's...
Yeah, for those of you that don't know who this guy is and the group of friends that he hangs out with, they're all a bunch of streamers, mind you. These are people that have easy jobs. They sit behind a desk all day in front of a camera with people donating to them, and they don't have to work a real job. They're behind a camera all day. And they have said some heinous stuff. This guy has actively supported terrorists on his channel. He showed a Houthi pirate on his channel, on his Twitch, and Twitch actively promoted this and allowed it to happen. They didn't do anything. He didn't get any ban for that. And mind you, the person that he was promoting had done some heinous stuff. Some of his friends, like his friend Frogan, if you look her up, she's just as bad. She basically wished that, basically said that all U.S. military veterans deserved PTSD, and she didn't get banned for it. I mean, this platform basically doesn't care, and that's why I prefer YouTube, because YouTube has stricter guidelines. They actually have better rules, and they don't let crap like this fly. It's exactly why people like him are not on YouTube, because a lot of his extremist content doesn't get put on YouTube. And I'm going to call it extremist because when you're promoting hate and the stuff that he's promoting on his Twitch, it's not safe. Go watch some of his stuff. It's bad. It's real bad. And it's like, dude, I get free speech, but at the end of the day, you got to understand that you're promoting stuff that we as Americans don't like.
It's kind of against the law. You can't just be shilling for terrorists out here. So we're just going to look at Hasan's crash out on stream, blaming SlopTuber, saying that he's going to get arrested. He also calls himself a journalist and says that he would love to talk to more terrorist groups. We'll also look at Asmongold's response to the situation. Apparently, Hasan's also going around telling people to neck themselves as well, so we got to check that out. And he's also hosted illegal. A talk at the University of Chicago and immediately brings up Ethan from H3H3 and Asmongold in his his talk. So this drama is like directly transferring to real life consequences, and maybe by episode 50 of the Hasan saga, he will officially be locked up. But let's kick this off with this tweet. Hasan claims he was stopped at global entry for additional questioning when returning back to America. I got stopped at CBP at global entry for additional questioning. I'm out. It wasn't that bad. Very strange experience overall though. CBP, if you didn't know, is US.
Before he continues, okay, because I've seen, like I said, I've been following this, for a while now. Like I said, I'm subscribed to more Pegasus. I watch a lot of his videos. The dude's grinding. Make sure you guys go support him. Pegasus, if somehow you ever see this dude, hey, you rock. I love your content. So, but I think he might even mention this. I don't know. If you guys don't know, on one of his, there was a clip going around. I don't know if it's still up, that Hasan had basically threatened I think a senator or a governor or something. And he's wondering why he's getting stopped by these people. Like, you can't actively go online and do the things that he's doing and wonder why the U.S. government is going to stop you when you're coming back into the country for questioning. Like, when you say and do heinous things and promote heinous things, you're going to get in trouble.
US Customs and Border Protection. Basically, they're people who protect Americans from terrorists, right? Yes, they didn't ask for my phone, and definitely asked a lot more about my political affiliations. They definitely knew who you were then. The guy who said America deserved 9/11 and praises terrorist organizations was stopped by CBP? Yeah. No way. They asked me about my job. They knew already. Trump, Israel, Houthis, Hamas, even Twitch bans. And then we got a picture of him, and I swear he aged like 50 years. So naturally, after being questioned by the US government, Hasan blames it on slop tubers and says it's happening because of us.
The fact that a lot of the shit that
wow,
the Ethan Kleins of the world have cried about over and over again were unironically brought up in that fucking conversation. And I was shocked. Okay, not like the bleach sword obviously, but the Houthi. Did you interview a Houthi? It says here that you interviewed a Houthi. And I was like, or was he actually a Houthi? And I was like, he's not. You can look to all of the reporting that came up.
Which the clip that he's trying to say he's not in, literally, if you watch that clip back, his team will probably get rid of it. But if you watch that clip back that was on his Twitch, right? He was praising this guy as a Houthi pirate. He was actively saying he was. He asked him on the thing. He says, yes, I am a Houthi pirate. You're just lying at this point. You've been caught in 4K. It's all there. Stop. Just take accountability, dude.
Afterwards and before I interviewed him, the very fact that was a point of contention that could have fucking gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely in that moment was thinking these fucking dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fucking fire.
Hey, that's me. Everybody say hi to Hasan here. He's actually the #1 Pegasus fan. Bro's actually glued to the series. I'm glad I could contribute to your downfall, actually. This is wonderful news. I just love how this moron thinks that the US government is sitting around watching slop videos on YouTube. Bro actually thought he could yap about supporting terrorists all day on Twitch as the biggest leftist political streamer and not get questioned by border protection. And wow, now he's trying to gaslight the US government, be like, that wasn't a Houthi terrorist, guys. It was just Luffy from One Piece. Haven't you watched the anime? Then he says that he didn't want to talk about this, but he had to because slop tubers are apparently ruining his life now.
And I even thought about not even mentioning this because I was like, I don't want to give him any sort of power over the situation.
Mind you, nobody's bullying him either. This isn't like a form of bullying. He's not a victim. This is a guy who literally lives in if you Google his name and Google his recent purchases, he purchased, I think it was it was either 3 million or 300 million. It was an insane amount either way, mansion that he lives at. And again, what does this guy do? He's not a journalist. He doesn't go out boots on the ground and interview anybody. If you look at his content, it's him literally maybe 10 to 12 hours a day behind a screen, sitting there, eating and shoving his face and drinking Diet Mountain Dew and Diet sodas and talking and bashing America and complaining about America while living in America, mind you, while raking in all of the American, rights and dreams and everything, but complaining constantly about us. Like, dude, if you have that much of an issue, then fucking leave the country. Nobody wants you here, you know? Don't bitch about a place that you live in. Like, just leave.
But, like, the reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is inadvertently working with a lot of these fucking dipshits. These dipshits are playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the law.
100%, guys. Basically, this guy is accusing me of working with Donald Trump. You can't actually
What
be
an
serious,
idiot,
bro.
dude.
Yes, me as a non-American living
non-American
in Southeast
Asian.
Asia, never even been to America, actually, is apparently in cahoots with the U.S.
And he is
government.
Asian.
Hassan
Like, if
really
you actually
stepping
have
up his
seen more
schizophrenic
Pegasus, he's
tendencies
Asian.
here. Riddle me this.
You can
How does
tell.
drama YouTubers
It's like, dude.
sitting and yapping in their room, calling you out for the shit you say, you know, the shit you put out publicly,
Yeah,
is
like,
somehow
come on,
some
man.
conspiracy working for Trump? Here's a thought. Maybe you actually broke the law. Maybe you're not allowed to stream terrorist propaganda and invite Houthis on
You're
your stream
not.
and run defense for them and support terrorist organizations like Hamas.
not.
And maybe you being the biggest leftist streamer, somebody reported you to Border Patrol.
That is literally the case. It was shocking that that was the case, but it is the case. And it's actually very frustrating that it is the case, that this administration doesn't care. That's why they work with Beitar. That's why they work with all these other fucking insane groups. The Barry Weisses of the world actually have motion in this goddamn admin.
Classic Hamas Diddy Piker blaming everybody but himself. You literally got yourself in trouble with the law. I'm not the one who played a terrorist propaganda music video on stream.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
you.
I
That was
forgot
all
he
you.
did that.
We gotta blame it on the slop tubers, who are absolutely winning right now, by the way. King of the slop here just hit 600k subs. Thank you guys,
Ooh,
by the
let's
way.
go.
By the way, slop tuber was like a name given to discredit people who literally just work hard and make consistent content and cover drama, I guess. But it's kind of backfired so bad now. I kind of wear it as a badge of honor because, you know, the success is insane, the views are insane, and we're absolutely killing it. And I embrace all the memes, you know, the It's Over saga is a legendary meme. I get so many comments saying, you know, you're doing God's work here, exposing these absolute freaks. And I appreciate that a lot, okay? My job is simply keeping people entertained and informed. Then Hassan talks about how he was questioned about Hamas.
Really interesting was in the actionable side of things, they also asked, have you ever interviewed a member of Hamas? Have you ever had a communication or correspondence with a member of Hamas, Hezbollah, or the Houthis? Now, what's really fucking insane about that is that as someone who works in media, sometimes I do actually do journalism, right? As I've maintained this position over and over again. And I said that I would,
journalism, sitting
I
behind
would
a
have given the
screen.
opportunity to talk to someone that is a part of the Ansar Allah movement, a Houthi, or even Hamas, or even Hezbollah.
An actual real example of a YouTuber doing journalism is Tyler Oliveira. If you know who he is, regardless if you like his content or not, he's a prime example of actual journalism. He's not a journalist. He never goes out anywhere. You never see him do anything. He sits behind a screen 95% of his life. And that's not me accusing, that's proof. You literally go to his stream, he's always live. Go to his channel, he's always live. Like, dude, you're not a fucking journalist. Shut up.
Right? I think that I have the right to do so. And what was interesting, you don't do journalism, you grift. I know, Chatter.
Yes.
That's why the fucking federal government is trying to arrest me. Yes, because I'm grifting too hard.
Yes, he's a grifter.
That's what it is. Thank you. Yes, your fucking dumbass slop tuber is correct. I'm grifting.
Bro, this is absolute gold. He is so mad at slop tubers. Thank you, Chatter. Was that like a Pegasus fan? What an absolute legend. You are absolutely right, by the way. He is global rank #1 grifter. If you want to learn the art of grifting, you gotta study Hassan here. He probably wrote a book on it. Hassan is like the human equivalent of a typo. He's just a fucking sorry mistake of a person. And I love the, bro, I'm actually a journalist. Let me make it very clear. You are not a journalist. You're a pathetic hack terrorist sympathizer and a racist piece of shit. And of course, Hasan would love to talk to Hamas directly, and Hezbollah, and the Houthis, and pretty much every other terrorist organization. Hasan would love to put on an extra pair of white undies that day just to soak up the discharge after talking to his terrorist idols. Future Pegasus here, we actually have an update. NBC News reported on Hasan's alleged detention. DHS disputed his version of events, nothing but lying for likes. Okay, so Hasan tweets out, the DHS response is so funny because they're not even disputing that it happened. They're omitting the insane questions that were asked and instead claiming that I wasn't targeted for my political beliefs. Why y'all ask me about Trump, Israel, Houthis, and Hamas in my Twitch bans? Well, for the 69th time, you support terrorists, dude. That is a cause for questioning. Here's what the article said. When asked for comment about Piker, a Department of Homeland Security official called his account nothing but lying for likes. Claims that his political beliefs triggered the inspection are baseless. Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said in a statement, our officers are following the law, not agendas. Upon entering the country, this individual was referred for further inspection, a routine, lawful process that occurs daily and can apply for any traveler.
So caught in 4K by the own, mind you, look at who this is, Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. This is the person in charge of the officers that detained him and did his thing. So they didn't pull him stop him because he was a Twitch streamer that was, making headway for saying crazy stuff. It was just a lawful search. He just happened to randomly get chosen. And believe it or not, if you've ever been to an airport, that actually does happen very often. If you go out of the country to another country and you come back, whether you're an American or not, they can question you, they can stop you, they have and they will for any reason. It doesn't mean that they're looking for anything in particular. It's what they do to ensure the safety of our country. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, that's their job. If you've worked in security, you'd know what I'm talking about. It's crazy to me that you'd lie like that, and then like this, you're just getting called out like, no, that's not at all. It's nothing like he's trying to say it is. This is what actually happened. It's like, yeah, that's what everybody thought. He lies a lot for attention.
Once his inspection was complete, he was promptly released. My guess is some of the employees probably recognized you for your views online and decided, hey, maybe let me ask this guy a couple questions. It wasn't for your political views or anything like that. It was more like, is this guy actually backing up what he says, or is he just yapping from his room, right? What part of a lawful routine inspection requires the DHS to question me about my political views, my opinions on Donald Trump, or my stance on Israel and Palestine? He said in a statement to NBC News, the agent was cordial, but the experience, along with reports of other Americans facing similar questioning, seems intended to create a chilling effect on speech. Of course, this is a free speech issue, Hasan. Totally. As a taxpayer, you mean paying tax to the U.S. government, which funds Israel, which sends missiles to Gaza? Interesting. And didn't you say you should stand up for your beliefs, and you told Gila, Ethan's wife, to refuse military service and go to prison for that? So why don't you refuse paying taxes, son? Just curious. I believe CBP agents should be focused on actual threats like preventing agricultural risks or combating trafficking, not interrogating people about their political beliefs. Bro, it's not that deep. They're just checking if you're a terrorist or not, because when somebody screams America deserved 9/11, it's kind of hard to differentiate from a terrorist. I believe that he got stopped. He's threatened multiple politicians and supported terrorist organizations. It would only make sense that he's on a list. Yeah, I keep forgetting the fact that this guy literally threatened to kill a U.S. senator. So
okay, he did say it in this video. I promise you this was not pre-watched. It's just, I remember that clip going around. He threatened, he said something like that on one of his streams, and somebody clipped it and it was going around. I don't think it was LSF. I think it was just on the internet, and it was crazy. I'm like, how are you not arrested for that? Like, if any other person had said something like that, FBI would be at their door, knocking on their door, and bringing them in for questioning, which apparently it happened. I mean, whether they decided to do that or not, I think he just randomly happened to be selected for a routine check. But it's crazy to me. Like, dude, you can't say stuff like that and then not expect consequences. I mean, there's a difference between free speech and just being stupid. It's like, use your brain.
My bad, guys. It's kind of hard to remember the list of bad shit this guy's actually done. Now we gotta move on to Asmongold's response to all this drama.
Yeah, crash out. It's Asmongold's fault I got detained. What is this? So is Hasan blaming me that he got detained at the airport? Yeah, guys, I made the call.
And I was shocked. Were unironically brought up in that conversation. The Houthi. Like, did you?
That's right. Yes, that's right. Saying that you support a designated terrorist organization got you extra questioning whenever you were re-entering the country.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean?
Yeah, okay, there it is.
If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a fucking terrorism supporter. What are you talking?
Okay, well, there it is.
Bro, this is becoming one of my favorite dramas ever now.
And if you guys go back, 5 minutes? What did he say? When they asked me, do I support the Houthis? I don't, blah, blah, blah. Was he a Houthi pirate? He was not. Caught in 4K lying again. Again, you know, it's crazy to me. And then, like I said, what he does is he strong arms smaller creators, you know, when they make hit pieces or videos about him. I remember a few times he tried to get more Pegasus canceled and some of his videos demonetized and taken down, and it failed miserably because he was well in his right. He wasn't, you know, wasn't hating on Hasan. He was literally showing people exactly what this guy was doing and calling him out for his bad behavior, you know. And it's people like Hasan that make streamers and content creators like me and more Pegasus and Asmongold and Tectone and all these other people that he wants to call idiots, you know. It's like, dude, you gotta understand, like, you're making us look bad. Just like the streamers that go to other countries and they just destroy the country and they make a menace of it and they disrespect their culture. We don't like that either, because someday we might want to go there and you're making us look bad. So it's like, no, these aren't people bullying you. These are people clipping your bad behavior and the words leaving your mouth and putting you in your place and saying, no, if you're going to live in our country, you're going to follow our rules, and you're not doing that. Not here. You know, plain and simple. Free speech be damned.
I don't do this often, but I'm preying on your downfall, bro. And I feel like it's just a trend with this guy. Even in the whole India versus Pakistan thing,
that's
this guy,
where
he just
I'm
can't
different.
stop supporting the side with
I don't believe in anybody's downfall. I wish he would learn his lesson. I wish he would get some level of punishment, learn from it, and grow as a person. And I'm not just saying that, you know, because, you know, he could see my reaction to a Pegasus thing and come after me because I'm a small creator. I'm genuinely saying that because I believe everybody deserves a second chance. You only get one, though. I believe everybody deserves a second chance. If he took some time from the internet, if he stepped away, if he came back and he just focused on his content, really focused on journalism, I would be willing to give him a chance. But continuing to do some of the stupid stuff that he's doing is like, nah, man, you need to go. Well, you need to go get off the internet. You know, like, you're making everybody look bad.
terrorists. It's like he can't breathe unless he has terrorist schlong deep down his throat.
Gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely, in that moment, was thinking, like, these dumbass slot tubers are actually playing with fire. And I even thought...
Really? Playing with fire? Okay.
Thought about not even mentioning this because I was like, I don't want to give him any...
Okay, so that's the first lie here. Does anybody actually believe that he actually thought of not mentioning this?
He actually instantly tweeted about it, and since then reposted it dozens of times.
Yeah, Hasan trying to pretend he can keep any situation offline. This guy literally talks and streams about every single thing that happens in his life. He is the definition of completely terminally online. You think he would ever let this opportunity go to show how tyrannical the government is, or how everybody is against him in some sort of conspiracy, how he's the ultimate victim? Oh, they're trying to put him in jail because he's some sort of like grand activist or something. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts calling us fascists now, you know, just like, oh, they're trying to put me in prison. Like, buddy, you broke the law. And honestly, I just hope he keeps streaming his radical views so that people can compile more and more evidence against him until they finally bring down the hammer on him.
I hope he learns.
The reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is working with a lot of these f***ing dipshits. That's
right. I made the call yesterday when Hasan wasn't in the country. He was in France or whatever. And I was like, Donald, all right, we've got our chance. He's going to be coming back in a day or so. So
dipshits are playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the.
It's sad I have to even say this, but for those of you who are slow or just stupid, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner. I mean people that just obviously, you guys know who I'm talking about. The people that that lack common sense. Case in point, Hasan, that was sarcasm. This is a guy who lives in his childhood home, mind you. He doesn't obviously work for Donald Trump. He was being sarcastic. And it's sad I even have to say that, but some people are dumb.
Law.
Yes, that's the point. We don't want people supporting terrorism, promoting terrorism on the platform. That's the whole point. Yes.
I'm sorry, is this Asmongold? I heard he's a slop tuber. He's probably working with Donald Trump, actually, to specifically detain Hasan, because obviously the entire world revolves around Hasan, and everybody spends all day, every day, trying to take this man down. He's truly like a fighter for the country, right? Then Asmon talks about how nothing actually happened to him.
That is literally the case.
And also, by the way, keep in mind, nothing happened to him. He didn't get fined. He was allowed re-entry into the country. He was inconvenienced for a period of time. And yeah, that's what happens when you say that you support the actions of a terrorist organization and then you play their propaganda. You end up getting detained for extra questioning, re-entering the country, making sure that we're not letting people that are actual terrorists, because Hasan is not an actual terrorist. He just likes cosplaying as a person who likes them.
Well, nothing happened for now, let's just say that. I mean, if he got questioned about his online content, I'll say that somebody on the US government definitely has their eye on him, right? So
Yeah.
Can we have a moment of silence for whoever the poor employee is there, having to sit down for 10 hours watching Hasan streams to gather evidence on
See,
him?
that's the thing too. Like I said, I wouldn't want to know that. Like if I've left to go on vacation or wherever he went, and then I came back and I was being questioned, and I realized that they what more Pegasus just said right there, the realization, oh man, somebody from the government is watching me. Like, I wouldn't want that type of level of heat on me. So it's like, dude, you have everything you could ask for. You have obviously a very nice home. You have, I don't know how, but you have a thriving audience. You have a platform that supports you. You have, a dream home that most people will never see. Stop. Stop putting your foot in your mouth. Learn your lesson, man. Stop. It's crazy he just doesn't get it. And mind you, this is a 30-something-year-old grown man. It's like, bro, how?
Oh my god, Lord have mercy on his soul. Asmongold says he takes no responsibility in Hasan being detained, but wishes he did. Says the questioning was valid.
I take absolutely no responsibility in Hasan getting detained, but I wish I did. Would you want the TSA and the people that are vetting the individuals coming inside of our country to do additional questioning towards people that have a record for supporting known terror groups? Would
Yes.
you want them to do that?
Yes.
And I think the answer to that is absolutely yes. 100% yes.
I do.
And I think even he would say that. He would have to say that. How would you say no to this? So if anything, this is a huge W. You're a terrorist? To some furries I am, but not to America, okay?
That's definitely a Hasan chatter right there. How do you possibly conclude in this situation that Asmongold is the terrorist from all of this? I feel like what Asmon said there is perfectly reasonable. Of course you want your borders to be secure and safe from evil people who want to harm Americans, right? And they were just making sure that somebody who platforms and celebrates these evil people isn't somehow in cahoots with them.
Works in media. Sometimes I do actually do journalism, right? As I've maintained this position over and over again. And I said that I would...
Journalism is when you tell people that they're like anime characters. I don't want to be too particularly mean, but if Hasan was as big of a journalist as he claims he would be, maybe Bernie Sanders would sit down with him for more than 15 minutes. Not trying to be mean, but you're
See, I'm not the only one saying it. Right there proves it. I am not the only one saying it. It's not hate. He's not a journalist. He never has been. He never will be. He just pushes propaganda and wonders why people call him out on his BS. Nobody's bullying him. Like, dude, like I said, I wish nothing but success for him. Do you, man? You know, everybody deserves that shot, but it's like not the way that you're doing it. Like, no, as Asmongold said, you're going to be called out.
Stop trying to act like you're a journalist.
Yeah, dude, Hasan loves to pretend he's some sort of on-the-ground reporter. By on the ground, he means like on the carpet of his $3 million mansion, obviously. But anyways, here's what people are saying. Hasan might be the first person that gets banned in real life before he gets banned on Twitch for stuff he does on Twitch. All I did was support terrorism. Why did they detain me? Big brain shit. Hasan is on record saying the Houthis deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. What are we even talking about here? Now let's get to the clip where Hasan tells people to neck themselves. Hasan has been on a run telling people to end their lives on Twitch. This time he did it because someone asked him about his alleged billionaire-owned Harry Walker speaking engagement connection. Hasan Piker is allegedly available to hire for speaking engagements. The Harry Walker agency, which is said to be funded by billionaires, has the streamer listed as a speaker on their website. They also listed him as a journalist and activist advocate. The company's clients include from the likes of Hillary Clinton to Ben Affleck.
Worst debate ever. I'm gonna be honest with you, and not look. I'm gonna keep it $150. Okay, this has 1,800 views. Okay. I'm serious. If you watch something like this, I can't tell you what to do with your life because, like, my suggestion to you, if you unironically consume content like this, would be, I can't tell you the mechanisms in which, like, what kind of medieval techniques you should be using to do the deed, right? But, like, just, you know, the sky's the limit, okay? Like, that's it. It's just like you have already volunteered your life. You're like, I am nothing. I am not a human. I am something different.
You know, guys, I heard that.
Yeah, mind you, he said that obviously in response to that video and obviously that person commenting.
Hasan also learned empathy at the age of 32 from iDubbbz. Telling people to neck themselves, that is peak empathy. That is the iDubbbz type of empathy. Absolutely legendary crash out. They said the KSI Logan series would never be beaten, but Hasan is putting up a good fight here. You know, on the one hand, I'm hoping for more episodes, but on the other hand, I also want to see him get arrested, so, you know, Now, following in Hasan's footsteps, a Hasan orbiter tells Asmongold to end it.
Oh, by the way, I saw this tweet. This was by a person. So this guy said, I got banned for tweeting this. This is I hope they commit squad, right? This is he's obviously saying, I hope they commit suicide squad. I'm obviously on the list for this, right? And so if you read this guy's bio right here, this is my favorite part about it. Director of Creators for Peace. So this is a person who's tweeting out his top 10 most wished for and he is the director for Creators for Peace. The jokes write themselves. How is this even real?
Director of Creators for Peace is absolutely hilarious there. What the irony is insane. Dude, how is it that these people who always preach like tolerance and accepting other people and being nice to other people, being empathetic, are always like the most heinous pieces of shit? It's like every single time, you know? Now let's quickly talk about Hasan going to the University of Chicago and giving a talk there.
Wow. What do you think of that music?
That's the perfect intro music. As soon as there was like Ethan Klein mentioned, I was like, oh, I'm surrounded by fans.
Wondering what made you, I mean, I know it's kind of natural to your interest. Why do you think talking about politics works for you on the platform? Like, what are the ways that you have learned to kind of crack that space if others haven't?
At first, I wanted people to talk about politics because I thought like there were a lot of progressive people out there. I thought it was like good to show that progressive politics is not shameful, that people shouldn't be afraid of speaking their opinions on these matters. And then Asmongold became the largest political content creator on the platform, and some people know who that is, but he's a right-wing commentator now, the biggest right-wing commentator in North America, actually. And now I'm like, maybe...
Mind you, this Asmongold, yes, if you look at his channel, he does react to a lot of like politics and stuff. But this is a gamer. This is a guy that lives in his childhood home, has lived there his whole life, and plays World of Warcraft that he's complaining about. He's got an opportunity to really like talk, and he's whining right now at a university. Like, dude.
Maybe don't talk about politics. It's better if they stay apolitical. People say that they're apolitical, or they say that they're operating off of common sense beliefs, but usually that just simply means you're right wing and not open about it.
That's right. Everyone who disagrees with Hasan it's because of politics, guys. When I say things like supporting terrorists is bad, that's a right-wing take, guys. That's definitely a politically charged take, apparently. Anyways, quick this video so Hasan goes to prison and the judge cites slop tubers as the reason. Anyways, what a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. As usual, thank you for 600K. I appreciate you guys a lot. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, this was a long reaction video. Like I said, I'm not sure when I'm going to drop this because obviously Pegasus just released his video a couple hours ago. Depending on when you guys are seeing this, yeah, let me know your thoughts and comments down below. This was very well put together, in my personal opinion. It's sad, like I said, it's sad when you see people like Hasan, who are big creators who could make a positive impact, and they do like dude, you got to speak at Chicago University, and you could have done so much for the platform of Twitch, but you're sitting there wasting your time bitching about Asmongold. Like, dude, get over yourself, you know? You know, the jealousy, the contentment is just insane. It's like, dude, it proves to you sometimes money don't mean it's going to make you a decent person. Money doesn't always make you happy, because the amount of people that have money that are just horrible human beings just ceases to amaze me. I don't know. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts and comments. And as always, this was a reaction video. I talked throughout it, paused, I gave my thoughts and comments. I tried to transform it as best I could. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Please obviously go and support the original. Check out more Pegasus's channel. I will link the original video down below as well. This dude is grinding. He's uploading every single day. He's talking about a variety of topics. And like I said, these videos I don't do very often. I only ever talk about stuff like this if I have actual opinions and if I have certain beliefs on it that I'm comfortable sharing. So don't get used to these style videos, because like I said, I don't do commentary style very often. I don't give my thoughts and takes like this, but this was just crazy. And depending on what I decide to title this, I'll probably be something along the Hasan is cooked, going to jail, detained reaction, something. I don't know. I'll figure a catchy title out. But yeah, guys, please go support more Pegasus. And again, more Pegasus. If you see this and for some reason have an issue with me doing a reaction, I don't see why though, because literally Tectone did a reaction to the same video. So, but anyways, depending on if you have an issue, like I said, shoot me an email. I'll gladly take it down. All right, guys, peace out.
Darklite reactions lighting up your mind. Catch the fire, spinning on this grind. Feel the pulsating, bleeding through the screens. Together we'll ride, tearing up the seams. Darklite, the echoes of the night. Shout it loud under digital light. Rocking hard, yet storms in sight. Join the ride, yeah, hold on tight. Metal thunder, feel the bass drop deep. Feel the energy lift you from your seat. Eyes wide open, diving in the flare. Every second an electric snare. Darklite, the echoes of the night.